Anytime now. Thank you. Welcome back to Black Clover Anime Review, episode number 24. This I'm reviewing the 74th episode of the Black Clover anime, which is called Flower Resolution, and the 196th chapter of the manga, Mastermind. Yeah, I tried to look up and see exactly what chapter this one adapt. The site then apparently created an article for a page for this particular chapter, so I had to look it up, and yeah, it covers the last 5 pages of chapter 113 and covers pretty much the entirety of chapters 113 and 114 and 15, and looks like possibly the first panel of chapter 116. This episode picks up right where last week's episode left off, with the start of the Royal Knights exam. We have Team B, which is comprised of Asha, Mimosa, and Xerxes. Yeah, the guy wears a mask. Well, a mask covers half his face anyways. And it looks like he has razor sharp teeth. Yeah, the show doesn't bother to explain that anyways. Yeah, so they start the battle with, I believe this is Team C, Team A, which is comprised of someone from the captain, from the Silver Squad, from the Silver Knights, and a couple of people I don't really recognize. Yeah, one basically looks like he has a kind of like a helmet scope, where he's able to find out exactly where everybody is, and the episode kind of starts out with him basically a brief conversation. Of course, Zerd falling asleep, and of course the crest being attacked, so Mimosa and Asha had to do a lot of the participate in the act as well. Zerd, he basically just falls asleep, so she uses her flower magic to protect the crystal, and she and Asha work really well in this episode. Great chemistry that they have together. They're able to find them pretty quickly, and Asha, of course, they would deflect the oncoming blast coming from this guy's fire arrows, because, well, anti-magic swords. I mean, they have heard of, they did not know this was, they had heard about the anti-magic stuff, and the fact that he possibly, they don't know who he is. One person he recognized because it was probably because of his battles he had with the Midnight Sun in the royal capital. That's my personal theory in the matter when it comes to that. And they do eventually defeat this group, and it was unusually possible. Asha falls into a trap, and the three of them about to do a three-prong attack on them, and then it just reflected. Like, one uses rock magic, the other one uses fire, the other one uses look like ice, and it's all deflected right back at them. And then he, of course, after being asleep, he's about to, I mean, it looks like he's going to kill this person of the Silver Knights. And he says, "Psych!" And he just smashes the crystal anyways. Yeah. And of course he gets chastised about Asha and Mimosa about the whole thing. Of course, Mimosa does praise him for basically thinking ahead. Asha, of course, basically is chastising him for not telling him anything. Eventually he walks off, and then we see the beginning of the next match. We see Moron, and Mimosa's brother. Yeah. And I kind of agree. The guy is an idiot. The guy is so obsessed with his beauty. I'm surprised they call him Pretty Boy, because the guy is obsessed with his beauty. And, of course, Mimosa, not caring for the man, says, "I wish this man would disappear." Like, what's the beef with her brother? I'm sure she probably doesn't care for him. Personally, of course, we also see during the whole episode, we see Charmy, of course, still sitting in the lap of the Wizard King. Gave him a sweet, just probably a thank you for letting him sit in his lap. And, of course, she briefly falls asleep. Then she wakes up because, well, magic's kind of boring her. We see Noelle, along with a few people cheering pretty much the entire Black Bull squad, with the exception of the captain, surprisingly. I'm curious, though, what the heck are the captains? Maybe they're off training someplace. That's my possibility anyways. What can I say? Yeah, so they go off. Everyone's cheering them on. We can see a good chunk of characters, at least mostly like the entirety of Black Bulls. One member of the Crimson Dynasty, pretty much getting annoyed by his wind spirit, who apparently has got a thing for him. It says, "Oh yeah, take me on a date." Yeah. Like Asha, has got more than one woman in love with him, and he's completely oblivious to it. Why? No idea why. Though in the case of Charmy, she first as his meat prince. But it's been a funny episode, but good start to this particular arc. Though it's interesting, though, the fact the last episode only stopped at, since the last 5 pages, basically covering the first 12 pages of the chapter in last week's episode. Now, talking about news chapter in the manga. First, we start off with a flashback to the destruction of the elf village. And then we see this guy who took Yuno's amulet from the previous chapter, talking about a demon, places a stone in the middle of a circle, and resurrects a demon. This guy, right here. And he reveals who he is. Yeah. He says it's been hundreds of years since he had his own body. A pleasure to have one. But despair. Later his despair I have done to Lynch. And Lynch is like, what do you mean? On that day, the one who tricked the humans attacking elves was me. When I was reading this, I'm like, what? This guy was responsible for the whole thing with the elves? This guy was responsible. Okay. Yeah, apparently he tricked the humans thinking that possibly that, yeah. He says it was an easy affair to see the humans by doing this, but using desire for magic power. So, yeah. Calls them all idiots, fools. And I think it's Asha who says this. Yeah, it looks like Asha says, don't screw with me. And of course, he's attacked by Yuno. Well, we see Yuno in this chapter. And he's doing some fighting against. He's actually fighting the demon. And then Asha pops up completely out of nowhere. And of course, it was like falling a hole, like, Yuno! And of course, Yuno's like, Asha, you're late. And of course, we can see, like, next chapter, the battle begins. Yep. This by far, really interesting chapter. This basically, like the whole thing, this demon being responsible for the humans attacking the elf village. Interesting plot twist. I didn't know who this demon was. They don't give this demon a name. Just some random demon with a name with black wings. I mean, look at this guy. Appearance-wise, it's very similar to that of Urakawa from Bleach. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people may make that comparison to him because how similar he looks. Well, his body anyways. Not his face, but his body. I would say via body-wise, it's similar to Urakawa from Bleach, but not an exact carbon copy. Yeah, mainly with the black stuff, it's very similar to that. Yeah, I'm going to give this chapter roughly a 9.5 out of 10. Great chapter, and can't wait for next week's chapter. Looks like Asha's taking on this demon. It means he can't use his Demon Slayer sword. Well, one he has left because he lost the big one to Lichin. No, Lichin might give it back, but who knows. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. Stay tuned for my comic corner, what I'm going to do next. Okay, but see you in the next review. Bye.